Welcome back to Talk the Thought with Tina
and Cindy. Hello.
Yes. Hello and welcome back. Has been a minute once again, but that's our life now. So
that's life.
Busy as always. Exactly. Deal with it. Exactly. Those 35 viewers, deal with it.
That's okay.
But yeah, hi.
Hi. Just, I thought it was very funny because every time we record a podcast, I would take care of my beautiful plants. One of them.
Oh.
Here. But since we've had a bit of a break because life has been too busy, this plant
your plants are dying.
Hasn't had any water. And I moved the green side to the camera, but it's...
I can't see the plant, but like, oh God.
I've had the plant for 1.5 years, and I feel like it's grown 1 centimeter. Anyway, it's still alive. I don't know how. I have no idea how, but so that just means the more we do the podcast, the more the plant is likely to survive.
So we have to get that going so that plant gets its life back.
Needs to be alive.
By the way, good that you said that. You know how you gifted me an aloe vera plant?
I did.
Or like some some piece of it. It's growing.
Of course it is.
Yeah, growing my Australia plant in my kitchen. So that's nice.
Nice.
I'm worried for your safety, Tina, that tree.
That's okay.
Now it's calming down, but like it will be
it's
live
one
on camera
of like
if you
50
die.
trees
just...
on the property. That's okay.
Huh. Other than that, how have you been?
Yeah, good. Busy.
That was my cat.
Live. Hi, cat. Hi, kitty cat.
Hi, kitty cat.
Just live. What about you? How was your weekend?
I actually had some very intrusive thoughts this weekend, so I thought I could bring this up in this episode so we can talk about it, because I think all of us go through these dark patches every now and then.
Let's talk the thought. Let's hear the thought. Come on.
Let's talk it out. So, you know, I'm still on dating apps, or I'm actually back on dating apps. I had taken a little break over summer.
It's a bit of an on and off relationship that you have with dating apps, right?
Well, because it's very toxic, and I will get to it why. But now it's getting cozy, and you want to meet someone, so I'm back on it again. But it kind of is annoying because some days you get matches, some days you don't get matches. Sometimes you meet people, and then you feel like, oh, it's all good, it's vibing. Other days, it's like, well, who am I even meeting? Why am I even doing this? And kind of gets to your self-esteem after a while, and it's interesting to observe, because I am a quite confident person, but once in a blue moon this freaking cloud hits you and you're just like, oh, am I ever gonna meet anyone? And I don't know if it's the face, because funny enough, I've been on YouTube these past days and a lot of people keep talking about the self-worth on dating apps, and I thought it's just me like having a bad patch, but it might be that whole fall season, you know, everything gets more cozy and you just feel like you want to have someone. But it's so interesting because you start questioning your self-worth. And I had this on the weekend where I was like, oh, maybe I'm just not, it's as stupid as it gets, like not pretty enough. Maybe I'm not like, you know, maybe I just don't like you. What am I supposed to do? These are the things you have in your mind. And I'm lucky that I can get myself out of it quite quickly. I do have my own procedures, techniques whatsoever to get myself out of it. But nonetheless, I have these thoughts, and that's why I just want to talk about how these apps, and not just dating apps, every kind of social media app is so toxic and kind of ruins our self-confidence.
I can totally. I mean, I can't relate to the dating app thing currently, but
lucky you.
But when I was single, no, same thing though. I mean, before I was in a relationship, it was the same. I mean, obviously you upload like, you know, the pictures where you feel most comfortable in and you think you're the most beautiful in those pictures, like you think you are. But then it's like the likes tell you, or kind of you let the likes decide, or the matches, if other people also think that you're beautiful. I don't know if that makes sense, but I find it a bit, you need to have a really, really strong, not personality, but self-esteem. You can be on a dating app for months or for years, and it doesn't have anything to do with you being an ugly person or not suitable for anyone or whatever it is. But yeah, of course, eventually it's going to do something with your self-esteem, self-worth. Like you're going to feel a bit.
Yeah, and it's even different. Like even us as women, we have it a bit easier on dating apps because we get so many likes. But then even then, you're still like, oh, but they're not the people I am seeking.
But
and then you
then
start
again,
questioning your own self-worth.
I witnessed a guy once, a friend of mine, who would, like, he was on Tinder. I was sitting next to him, and all he did was, and I don't want to say like, oh, you just get likes or matches because, you know, everyone does the same, but he just swiped through and just pretty much matched every girl, hoping someone is gonna match him back. To then,
yeah, it's different for men.
Yeah.
But we take so much more time looking through excuse me, the profile and kind of see, okay, this guy is actually a match, would be a potential guy I'm interested in. So then you swipe right on him, and then if you don't get a swipe right back, so don't have a match, then you're like, oh, okay. And it's fine for me usually. Most of the times it's fine. I know my own self-worth. It was just this weekend, it was interesting to know that I was like, okay, so I guess I have to, I don't know, have to work on myself a little. That were these thoughts. And then what I've done, and it's not me being self-centered or anything, but I had to just take some self-care, some me time. And I did dance in front of my mirror and just looked at myself and was like, yeah, you go, queen. Like, honestly.
I like that a lot. We should do that more
You don't
often.
need to, yeah. And the thing is, it's not only dating apps. Dating apps is just something I just noticed lately. But then I think you told me about, like, was it you or like Instagram influencers, like fitness influencers, how that can, like, some get manipulated by their appearance, thinking that they're not good enough.
I follow one fitness influencer. Well, she was in a fitness industry before, so is she a fitness influencer, I guess? And she always says, like, when you know, ask me a question and people ask, like, how much do you weigh, this and that, and or do you do Botox, and she's like, look, I do fitness for not any like looks. She was like, that comes with it, and I like that, but the main reason why I do fitness is for my body and like to be healthy. And yeah, okay, and then, you know, I feel good in my body, but I'm not gonna tell you how much I weigh if I do Botox or whatever, because it's not about, you know, your outside looks. It's not about that. But it's easy to say when you look freaking amazing. So I think there's a lot of people who can get, probably especially young people, but I don't want to say just young people. Or women, mainly women. Like, it would be interesting to speak to a man and ask them if they feel the same way, or for them it's more, might be a cliche, but for them it's more like material things that they see on Instagram, and they're like, oh, this guy is driving this super fast, nice, expensive car. Like, I want to be like this, rather than, oh, I want to look like him. I want to have, like, you know, abs like him or biceps like that. You know, I don't know.
I think a bit, maybe it's a bit of both, but I could agree. Like, I could think a guy would only, I mean, I don't know, but I couldn't see men being like us. Oh, he looks amazing. Like, I have to look like that too.
Yeah.
I don't think that's happening. But yeah, with TikTok and all these apps, I feel like especially the younger generation will be the ones suffering the most. But then I have, in my own circle of friends, I know a couple of people that told me that they had to unfollow certain people because they felt under pressure looking at these profiles. I personally don't feel affected by those profiles on Instagram. I can kind of, well, I feel like I can separate that this is them, but I'm then very happy with myself, so I don't get these thoughts. But for me, once again, it's dating apps. But I know that people have those thoughts, those intrusive thoughts.
I had a thought like this not too long ago, because I follow this couple, and they're great, they're lovely, and they don't do anything wrong. Like, I don't want to look like them, I don't want to be them, I don't want to live their life, but they've achieved quite a lot. Also, like, with their businesses, their work-life balance, whatever they do. And I felt like a little, I don't know.
Envious?
Yeah, like, how can I describe it? That I wasn't jealous of what they have, but it was more like, oh, I want to be at this point as well. I wish I could, like, be in a situation where, you know, my life would be like this, that work, you know, is easy, is online, whatever it is. And then I was like, oh, but, you know, you're meant to be where you are right now. So, and you have to pull yourself out of those thoughts. But once you're in the thought, it's a bit hard. And I think
it takes strength. It takes strength to get you out of it. And I think you could probably you do that already, take this as motivation.
Yes.
Just be like, oh, I would love to be at this point and I will get there. And that's my motivation, rather than being, oh, I'm jealous and I can never do this.
Yes.
I can never get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was listening to a radio show the other day, and they were speaking to a listener about dating apps as well. And she was saying that the matches that she gets on a Thursday, Friday, are quite different people than the ones that match her on a Sunday. So she said on a Thursday, Friday, it's more like, looking for casual hookup for the weekend, because, weekend starts, let's have fun. And then she said on a Sunday, it's a bit more honest, more deep conversations that she then has with the people, because on a Sunday, everyone had a great weekend. Maybe they went out, maybe they didn't meet someone, or maybe they did, but it didn't work out, whatever. And then on a Sunday, it's more like, you're at home, you're relaxed, and you would like to be with someone.
It's very interesting, 100%. I think that's true with all the fuck boys. They're probably like, on Friday I wanna get with you, and on Sunday I might want to start a life with you. Maybe. Yeah. The thing is, when you're in those apps and you are the one looking for something,
and for you, it doesn't make a difference if it's Monday, Tuesday, or Saturday.
It doesn't make it exactly. It doesn't, and it doesn't make something with your self-esteem though. So, I have a friend who is on dating apps since, I don't know, 7 years. And she's in that dating game she is in there since 7 years, constantly, without any breaks. So she goes on dates like every other week, or maybe even every week.
She didn't have any relationships in between?
No, okay. Not at all. And I don't know how she does that, because, I mean, I know how she does it, but like, it's tricky for her because her self-esteem is definitely paying the price, because you just think, I don't know, you just think based on your dates and based on your like ratio and match ratio, that this is who you are and this is how good you are and this is how you come off. And that's very interesting. So I personally think, which with all the apps, like, stepping away might be best. But then, like, with dating, especially nowadays, how are you going to meet anyone? It's very tricky. So you go on dating apps and then you have to just work on your, I don't know.
But then what made you feel,
I don't know.
like, what made you feel less worth, less beautiful, less, like, what was the reason?
What was the reason?
What was the reason?
Well, to give, like, a little personal information and not too much, but you, Tina, are aware I've been in this somewhat situationship this past months.
I like that.
Yeah, that's the name for it. Actually, there is a name now. That's the thing. That's because dating is like that we actually have a name for it in the dictionary now. It's called situationship. So I've been into this, I don't know, I've met someone in May, and I kind of, where this whole situationship, and another reason why I was probably not on those dating apps. And it's also fine, nothing had to happen.
And you were dating me.
You were there as well. I was dating you. I had my love life with you, Tina. Yeah, and I think that got me thinking a little, because I do love myself and I love the way I am. And I sometimes you think, oh, this guy, he would like me too. He would like me as well, the way I like him. Not like that guy, not the situationship. Not talking about this guy, but just in general. You match with the guy and you're like, oh, yeah, I can see him fit and I'm obviously perfect for him. And then knowing that is not, reciprocated. Is that the right word? I don't know. But if that's not mirrored back, then it's obviously, it's harsh. And that's fine. It's a rejection. Rejection is never nice. It doesn't never feel great. But I usually, like, once again, I'm fine with it. But just this Saturday, I was like,
but am I going to meet anyone? Because, like, normally you're fine with all those situationships you've been with, or like when you had a date and it didn't work out, like the dates were okay, but you didn't feel anything with that person, whatever it is, and you were always pretty fine. But then it's interesting that once you have that one day where you don't feel fine, it makes you just, like, rethink everything. And it's and then so, you're like, and I had actually another podcast that I follow, and they were talking about, so I think they're sisters, and one of them, and look, it's not about how beautiful you are or whatever it is, but, like, they're really good looking ladies. They're out there, they're quite popular, and I don't want to say famous, but they're known, and you would think, some, like, someone like that one sister, surely she's gonna find someone. She doesn't have to be on a dating app. She's probably around all the time. She goes to events, and she's gonna find someone. And then she opened up and she said she's also having a really hard time because it's like almost she feels pressured, and she puts the pressure on herself that she hasn't found someone yet. I think, maybe she's the end of 20, beginning of 30s. And then she was like, oh, well, everyone around me is getting married, but I haven't even found someone to date. And it just like there is still a bit of outside pressure, even though no one puts pressure on her, not in her situation, at least.
Exactly.
She still puts the pressure on herself. And then it's like, oh, I don't have a partner means I'm not worth it. Very sad.
I'm not worthy enough. Two things. One thing I would like to add with that, and that's a whole new episode we could actually talk about.
Oh yeah, my plant needs water. No worries.
With great self-esteem and a certain type of beauty and success, always goes hand in hand with being intimidating. So that's another thing we can talk about, but not today. But like, I could see for her, like being successful as well, it would be especially hard to meet someone or have people approach you because you are this successful, you're this pretty or whatever, and people find that intimidating. So this whole that's a very that's a very interesting topic itself. But that's for another episode. But the second thing, you shared that with me on Instagram. That woman that was saying or explaining how she managed to find a husband via dating apps.
Yes.
So what she has said potentially is like that, and I read this before, and it's not even just her joking; it's an actual thing.
No,
like,
she's not joking. No.
Yeah, she went on dates every week or tried to go on date as many dates as possible. And of course, I heard this before too, the more dates you go on, the closer you get to your number one eventually, yes. But she ended up dating for 14 months and went like on what did she say? I don't know, 60 dates or 50 something dates?
Yeah, she said 1 date a week.
One date a week. So it's like what 50 something weeks a year, and she did that for 14 months. So
you have to have time for that.
Exactly, and I do not. But she had to go on like nearly more than 50 dates to then find the one, which I don't know if the one does even exist. That's another topic, but she found someone she's happy to be with at this stage. So 50 dates, and I'm like, you don't have the time for it, you don't have the energy for it, because you have to go out and then you meet them, you're like, oh, it doesn't work, and you're like, oh, I've been so lucky. I've been lucky so far that every time I went on a date and it didn't go well, it was because I didn't like the guy. But there will be times where I get rejected. So just imagine, out of 50 times, maybe half the time you are the one being rejected or getting rejected.
I'm wondering. I mean,
must be tough.
I love the one that she's a businesswoman, so I just thought it was funny because normally she talks about business stuff and never about dating. So I thought it was funny to see how she's like, and my dating life was very structured, but she has a husband and they do great things together. Anyway, I'm thinking, if you go on 1 date a week, are you going, like, do you ever give the chance for a second date? I don't know if she counted that, like a second date the next week. It was, whatever she counted, but you need to meet the person online. You need to maybe have a connection with them, unless you say like, okay, cool, like, you just matched. How are you? Okay, where do you live? When do you have time? Let's catch up if you're quick like this. But then, you're a bit sorry. You want to talk a bit on the app first. Then you meet, and then maybe you meet a second time. Like, you don't, I feel like that's a bit too rushed. You don't really give it time. Yeah. I mean, lucky for her, worked out 1.5 years later, or whatever, a year later, I don't know.
50 dates later, it's exhausting.
Did she meet her husband through a dating app though? That's the other question.
Yeah, that's the other question. And the thing is, like, it's the energy you have to, like, it's not, maybe we as women have to gather into our masculine energy and just go with it and just match and just meet. Like, maybe that's what we have to do. But then I match, and I kind of, you want to find common ground, and you kind of somewhat invest
because
time
you don't want to waste
getting
your time.
To know. Exactly,
you don't
because I
don't
want to waste my
time.
But then I heard others saying, well, it's not, you can just meet for a quick coffee and then just see how you vibe and go. And that's true as well. I could just easily just spend 1 hour out of my day and then just meet. So essentially that one date a week thing is not hard to achieve. I personally just don't have energy because I cannot do it. And it's too toxic. These apps are just too toxic. And even another approach to this whole toxicity of dating apps, that AI working behind those apps, they are programmed to not show you fitting matches. So that even that the app itself
so you stay
is
on the app
programmed.
longer?
Exactly, you stay longer. You might pay extra to get like a bigger ratio or have like more chances to meet. So this app
so
is
they
actually
play with your heart.
Designed to they're designed to fuck up your mentality, fuck up your self-esteem, because the longer you're on it, the more your self-worth is just shrinking, essentially.
Cool.
And then that app makes you wonder if you're even worth it. And then every now and then that artificial intelligence, like, oh, look at this guy, and you're like, oh, there are actually guys out there. And then so it's a mind game. And that's fucking annoying. Sorry to be swearing, but it's just annoying.
That's a bit bad because you go on there to meet someone and the app at the end of the day is just trying to keep you, like Instagram, it's just trying to keep you scrolling and scrolling and matching and matching and matching, but never actually
and they make you pay
finishing
for it.
Whatever,
They make you pay for it. And there's this one app.
They make you pay for it, like literally they make you pay for it.
There's this one app called Hinge. It's quite popular in the US as well. And on Hinge, I had like just a number of likes I can give a day. And I don't know if it was not many, maybe 10, because I'm not really liking many guys. But I was on that app and I was liking away. And eventually there was this one guy. I was like, oh, I do really like him. Like, I want to match this guy.
Yes.
And I ran out of likes, and it said like, oh, to purchase more likes, pay, I don't know. It was not just €1. It was like a couple, like 15 something to get like more likes. So you're like, what? And you have to pay to get like,
and then you lost the person.
Yeah.
Because also you don't want to spend the money and then they don't like you back.
Exactly. And that, So this whole thing is designed to make you feel shit. Like that just gets me thinking about another app, Snapchat. Snapchat was the initial starter of all these facial filters.
Oh yes, true.
So as fun as it is, I mean, we all loved it to look like a cat or like a dog. Haha, funny. But at one stage they kind of start with the whole face deconstruction, where you like have bigger eyes, a bigger mouth, smaller, I don't know, smaller everything.
Yes.
So these, you can't tell me that these were just created because someone thought it would be funny to look a certain way. It is essentially to make people feel bad about themselves. There's people that want to get surgical procedures done to their face to look like their filters. So you can't tell me that these apps are not designed to fuck up your mental stability. So what do? You take a picture on
Snapchat and then take it to the surgeon and be like, hey, that's how I want to look like?
Apparently that's actually happening. Yeah, it's happening. But it's because these apps ruin your self-esteem, or these filters. And surely someone thought of that. But they make, at the same time, and that's just to sum it all up, at the same time, with them ruining your self-esteem, they're quite addictive as well. And that's what they all want. They want you to stay on the app. So the more you feel, the better you feel using this app, especially with Snapchat, for example. If you feel really great looking at yourself through the Snapchat camera filter whatsoever, the more you're going to use it instead of looking into a mirror. And I think with dating apps, it's maybe a bit contradicting what I just said.
And that's also bad. Let's just say you put, you have those filters, you take a picture, you put it on a dating app, and then like this fake version of you, and someone likes you, you match, you meet up. Like, you probably like through your mind, you're just like, oh my god, what if they don't like me? Because at the end, I don't actually look like.
But some of them believe that they look like that now because this is their reality. This is their reality. Some of them just only use these filters, and that's their reality. Some of them don't even realize they don't even look this way anymore. Yeah, that's the
thing with social media and internet things that.
Yeah, and it's sad. It's really sad. And like, we are lucky enough to be able to get ourselves out of this toxic environment, but there's so many people that are not able to do that
maybe
every
also
day.
once you grow up a bit, like, once you grow up, but once you get older, maybe
but
you become
not.
more comfortable with yourself.
You would think so. You would think so, Tina. But believe me, we are not the majority. Of course, with age, you get more comfortable, more relaxed. But I don't think it applies to everyone.
Yeah,
sadly.
probably not.
That was just my little rant about this whole
dating.
It's. I mean, at the same time, I'm still on it, and I'm still trying.
You don't hear many people anymore though saying they've met someone on, like, I know that now. You know, some people you meet, they're like, oh yeah, I met my partner there, but they've been dating for 4, 5, 6 years. I have not recently met anyone who's met. Well, okay, I know we had COVID, but yeah, who's met their partner in the last 2 years on a dating app.
I actually do, and I would contradict what you just said. Has anyone ever in the last 2 to 3 years met someone outside of dating apps? All people I know have met someone through dating apps because of COVID. And the question is, has anyone actually nowadays met someone through any other
options
then,
and are still dating?
And are still dating. I mean, dating apps itself they're helpful, and I get it. Like, I have friends that met really great people on there, and that's fine. You can obviously, but you have to search through. I don't know. You have to, through
maybe it's time that we create our own dating app.
Maybe it's time, but yeah, for now it's just an interesting observation, and I hope this whole mentality changes and we don't get as affected. But yeah,
I hope
you're
not gonna have any more days like this as well. I know you won't, but still.
Oh no, yeah, it's just once in a blue moon. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be me if it not like it's normal. It's fine. It's just I just hope that people that have this on a daily have these thoughts on a daily, that this changes for them and their whole perception of their own self-worth changes. But yeah, that was my take. I wanted to share that with you, Tina. I was like, lots on my mind. But I would love to talk about intimidating women, because the both of us have been called intimidating quite a lot of times. But this is for another episode. But let's just dive into that next time, maybe.
And maybe by then my plant is not as burnt and dead.
Let's make this a mission to save this plant from dying.
Stay tuned.
What can we do?
So
if someone watches this and knows like a procedure, like some sort of magic potion to bring that plant back to life,
no, I don't want that. You know what the magic potion? No, that would mean just add a bit more water to the plant every now and then, and not just.
Maybe it needs the energy though. It needs you and I sitting there talking, and it needs the energy to thrive. So maybe that's all it needs.
There you go. Just imagine now the plant is going up, bim, bim, bim. Oh, you can't see me, but like, anyway.
I can imagine.
Gonna buy a new plant next time. That looks exactly the same, just a bit.
You won't.
More ground. No, I don't even know where to buy those plants, but that's okay. Who cares? It's gonna be fine. We do it for the plants.
We do it for the plants. Save the plants. What are your plans, people? What are your plans today?
That's it. If you take one thing away today, then it's go and water your plants.
Thanks again for watching, and see you next time.
Oh, there's the other plant here.
Oh, there's another plant. Worse. Is that okay? Please, can you just show us all the other plants?
Oh my god, can you? And this one, before I went to Germany, was beautiful. Like, I'm like, oh my god, it's growing so well. Like, it was full of leaves, and it's like what a Christmas. But I need to show you. Look at that.
It's as sad as my love life. It's as dead as my love life.
There's 9 leaves. Oh well, there's a few dead. Okay.
So let's just make this a metaphorical moment with these plants blooming. So is all our self-esteem, and let's just be beautiful plants again, because we are. And
yes,
we are.
We are. Those plants
if we nurture ourselves, we shall be beautiful.
That's it.
So that's it, people. Thanks for watching.
We'll be back.
What are your plans, Tina? Please. Bye.